Hey everybody! On this episode of Gaming and Collecting, me and Alex are going to be revisiting one of our earliest topics, this time to once again talk about all of our favorite convention stories from over the years we've been attending conventions. We're going over mostly different cosplay stories, different purchases, and just some of the crazy things we've seen at conventions over the years. It's going to be a good time. Thanks for joining us.
Oh shit, you started recording. Sorry, I didn't think you actually started.
So how you been?
Well, I'm recovering from a cold. There's been like this huge bug that's been going around my work, and I finally got it, but thankfully
You escaped Callaway just to get sick.
Well, thankfully, I didn't get it as bad as everyone else did, because I was like, as soon as I started feeling symptomatic, I started taking cold medicine, and I swear it helped me so much. I didn't take any time off of work this week just because, like, I wasn't feeling like, it was mostly just a cough and congestion. It wasn't really anything too crazy. Like, I didn't have a fever or anything. But yeah, today it's honestly just like, I'm congested at this point. So if I sound a little gravelly or if I'm coughing, that's why. It's just the congestion needs to leave. I'm like waiting for her to appear from somewhere. Oh, I did my taxes today.
Yeah,
I finally just made an appointment at like an H&R Block because I attempted to do them through TurboTax, and it said that I owed the Connecticut government $3,000. So I was like, I don't think that's right. And then I went to H&R Block, and the lady's like, no, you only owe like $100. I was like, okay, that's much better. So yeah, if you're ever doing taxes and the number seems absurd, don't use TurboTax. Just go have someone do it for you. It's so much easier. Ugh,
Yeah, I gotta do that soon.
Yeah, I'd recommend the H&R Block in Enfield. Wonderful. They're nice. They did it for me. Now I don't feel stressed about owing the government $3,000.
Yeah. Yeah, this week, honestly,
Sorry,
was extremely all over the place.
Yeah, no. I mean, yesterday was a pretty sad day.
Oh, yesterday
I know
was brutal.
you already probably talked about it on Geek Addicts, but
yeah, at the time of this recording, like this is going to be like 2 weeks out past it, but
yeah.
Yesterday we got the tragic news that Akira Toriyama died.
Yeah.
At 68 years old. Like that is way too young.
Yeah, it just sucks. And I guess I was reading something about like it had actually happened like earlier in March.
Yeah, he died on the 1st apparently, but they kept it a secret.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly understand it. Like the family, letting the family process it. Like I know he had
the
kids
family
and stuff too, right?
Yeah, I believe he left everything to Matt was telling me last night. I believe he left everything to his son.
Yeah, like it's just, you gotta let them grieve. And it's been really pissing me off though, all the people like posting like these like things like calling him like a racist, like because of like Mr. Popo.
Yeah, I saw that. I blocked most of them.
Well, it was actually, I know, like on Twitter, like how it like posts like the like when something's like a post and then like it's clearly someone's making it up, it'll put the like caption of like why this is not false, like the Twitter notes. And I did see that for a lot of those posts that was coming up as like, no, like Mr. Popo was based off a like a Hindu god.
Yeah.
And it wasn't meant to be that way. And like when you look at the photos of it makes sense. So especially because like if you look at a lot of his character designs like of like African American people, like they are like a lot nicer than some of the other like
I mean, even then, like
characterizations,
even then too, you got to take into context that was the 80s and it was a very different time.
That too. And like clearly he's like grown and stuff, from that. But and it's also just like, why do we have to just like,
because people are just miserable online and they have to be miserable.
Like especially like where Akira like Toriyama has like influenced so much media and just creations over time. I mean, like I saw one post that was like relating like how Sonic was really inspired by a lot of things like Dragon Ball. I mean, the Chaos Emerald, the 7 Chaos Emeralds, the 7
Supersonic.
Dragon Ball, Supersonic, the like even Tails flying with his tail. Like Goku was doing that at some point. Like it's just there's so many influences and that was one of the things that like you don't really think about, but when you saw like all of like Cartoon Network was posting like all the
PlayStation
cartoons who have
posted,
yeah, like
like
everyone's like all the references, like all the love, like it's
voice actors were all
no, yeah,
commenting.
it's
Kishimoto and Oda both posted really
yeah,
heartfelt things.
it's like truly the series like he himself was just such an iconic person influence on media and honestly anime today. Like we would definitely not have all the shows that we have now without Dragon Ball. Um
I was
so
just like, I couldn't even go on the internet yesterday because like it just made me sad.
I know it was really sad going through. I saw a post too that kind of made me even more sad. It was like showing like 20, I think what year is it? It was like 2020. The author of Berserk died, and then the next year another famous mangaka died, and then the next year another one, and then it was like 2024 was Akira, and it's just like I was like, can we not make like no, like it's really sad. Like it just made you really sad when you saw
It,
oh, it was like 2021 was the I believe the creator of like Yu-Gi-Oh passed away.
yeah, because
Um
his death was bizarre
yeah.
because he like
Um
was trying to save someone from a flood or something like that.
Yeah. It's just like I was like, it's just really sad, They're really sad couple of years, but
It's
that one was definitely hard. And I thought too, I'm like, what about Dragon Ball Daima?
yeah, especially
Because
because he
wasn't
was
that he was
super into it.
yeah, like I thought he was heavily involved in it. So I don't
He
know.
he was. Matt was. We were talking about this last night. Matt was saying like he doesn't know because Toriyama famously was not someone who planned very far ahead. He did everything basically off the cuff, which is it explains kind of his tendency to forget things. But
Yeah. But
my
it
favorite
yeah.
was like looking back at like he was a very self-deprecating man. Like he would make fun of himself a lot
Mm.
in good-hearted nature. Like one of my favorites was like his comment about how he knew very well that he only made like four faces. He could only draw four faces, but we all were like, yeah, we like it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like his, and that's one thing. Like his art style was very much his style. Like I don't think like anyone really could replicate that because,
He
like,
is 100% responsible for why toy animation is the way they are.
yeah, no,
That's why
oh,
Kishimoto made his big. Uh, Kishimoto drew that really nice like tribute post picture.
mhm.
Oda with that really unsettling photo of Goku with Luffy's face.
Yeah. Well, and and they've like worked together a lot because there's been like those Dragon Ball and One Piece crossover episodes. Like, so I'm sure it I'm sure it was really hard on Oda as well. I'm sure they were friends.
Yet also, the bigger, as big as Dragon Ball is, there's a bigger loss that a lot of people are. Some people are really aware of, but a lot of people haven't really noticed yet. Dragon Quest,
No, I was actually gonna bring that up. I was
literally like
wondering.
one of the biggest franchises in Japan, almost in the world.
Yeah,
Like that was one of my favorite pictures I saw was because ironically Toriyama was a very private man. Like we really didn't know a lot about him, but he's also
yeah,
one of the rare mangakas where there's a lot of photos of him
yeah. It was definitely sad seeing like all the photos too, because I know there was one where it was like him with his son, and it was
playing
like
Dragon Quest.
playing Dragon Quest. It
Yes,
was even
yeah, I
watching
love
Dragon,
that
and I
photo.
was just like
The one of him and
it,
his son playing Dragon Quest One was like that was the one that broke me. I was like, okay, I have to get off the internet. This is too
yeah,
much right now.
it was definitely it was a sad day, but you know, we just
What
gotta
makes
have his family in mind and just I'm kind of glad that they delayed it just for their own
I am too because the amount of like sadness from the fans like
yeah.
alone would have just brought them down even more because
Oh my god.
I did not realize until yesterday just how much this man meant to everybody.
Yeah. No, it was really, really sad. But I mean, all we can hope for the future is that like his legacy lives on. I mean, Dragon Ball Super will keep going because I know he wasn't really writing for that, you know.
He was making the outlines. I know Togataro was drawing it, and he was
Yeah.
basically putting the stories together based on Toriyama's notes.
Yeah. So I'm sure that they'll keep it going, you know.
I'm sure. I mean, after we record this, I'm probably going to. I have my 3DS all booted up. I'm going to be playing Dragon Quest IV again because I really want to now.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch Dragon Ball again now too.
No, I'm gonna start watching that soon. And then we can definitely talk about it. But yeah. Oh, I just saw you drank a liquid death.
Yeah.
Guess what I bought this week?
What did you buy?
I bought some for myself. I really like the mango ones.
Good for you.
I did. I bought them. But I'm just drinking. I'm sorry, Kirky. I'm cheating on you again with Bull and Basket, a ShopRite brand, because ShopRite is cheap and quick. And can you hear that?
Yes.
Is it pleasant?
The video viewers can see this, and it's very interesting.
It's just me shaking a water bottle. You just stole my seat. She just stole my seat on the couch. Hold on, everyone. Tilly KM, if you're watching. That's my seat.
It's her seat now.
She kind of matches it right now. She has a little purple bunny bow tie. That's my seat. You little jerk. I'm taking that back after we podcast. Well,
Yep.
I guess we're not going to have any Tilly interruptions. Because she's stolen my fucking seat.
Yeah.
Rude.
But you know what's really sad too? I actually went on a the day before we found out.
Oh yeah, I saw your post.
I went on a trip up to the Newbury Comics near us. Like I took a 30-minute drive because I was trying to buy it on Amazon, and I guess volume 6 is out of print at the moment. Because the only one I could get was like $50. I was like, fuck that. And I knew they had one there, so I figured, fuck it, I'll just go. And while I was there, I ended up grabbing the rest of it, plus Spy Family Volume 11, which isn't supposed to be out for 2 weeks. So
you got it now.
But I finished my Dragon Ball collection. I was like gonna be like, I was planning on being like super psyched about it, and I chatted with Matt about it, and then we got that announcement, and I was like, well, this just put a damper on everything.
I mean, but honestly, I mean, I don't want to say like it's kind of good you got it before, because like I'm sure that they would have been gone.
Oh yeah. No, there was a Dragon Ball art book that I wanted to pick up at Barnes and Noble, and I went to go see if I could find it yesterday, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like
no.
I went on Amazon. The closest one I could find was $50, and it wouldn't arrive until like the end of like the month. So I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Not worth it right now.
Yeah. But any other things you want to... Sorry, I'm dying. Any other things you want to chat? Any other... Oh, this month's going to be chaos for me. Because guess what month it is? It's March. And guess what March means? St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what St. Patrick's Day means?
Crazy drunk Irish step dancers, yes.
Yeah, the dancers are not drunk. Most of the time they're children. What the fuck? Bill.
I don't know. Apparently they do it a lot older than I thought, so you never know.
Yeah, but we keep it respectable. Yeah, but
while everyone else is drunk around you.
Well, yeah, that's kind of part of it. But yeah, I'm doing a couple shows tomorrow to help out the school. One of them is literally down the street from us at a assisted living area, which is nice. That's one of the things that I tried to sign up for, mostly those. Because like it's nice to go and make people smile, you know, especially like, you know, when you're living in those areas, you're a little lonely and stuff.
I couldn't get over what Mom referred to it as in the car.
What did she call it?
She said Alex was doing her St. Patrick's Day crap. Yeah.
Text her. I'm texting her right now. I need information. Oh my god. My St. Patrick's Day crap.
That was funny.
My St. Patrick's Day.
It turned you into the Joker for a minute there.
Go fuck yourself. It's not crap. It's nice. It's nice to go and make people smile. Like you're a dingus. You're what? Get out.
Well, anyways.
No. I'm not over this. It's not crap.
It's okay, Alex. You can admit it's a cult, and you guys do cult-like things.
The little cat paw tongues are gonna get you. They're gonna get you. Oh, wait, Bill. Oh no, I'm struggling. Okay.
What did you do?
It's Bulbasaur. It's a little knit Bulbasaur my coworker made for me before I quit my job. Also, he's double jigged up.
Lovely.
This went from being so sentimental to like hot garbage immediately.
Yeah, this was really sad, and then Alex turned into the Joker for a minute, and then
no. Oh, and Mom responded with a question mark. That's what Bill said. You called my dancing tomorrow.
St. Patrick's Day crap.
I'm dying. Oh my god, the podcasters are gonna be like, ew, gross.
But yes.
She read it. She read it. All right.
Oh Lord.
Let's see her response. Oh, it's like I'm telling you. I did not. So Bill's lying. She said crazy baby.
She said crap. I remember because I had to pause and go back and be like, because I thought it was hilarious.
I'm just gonna text her. This is in the podcast.
This is gonna be a wild episode because this went from being really sad to like nonsense to
St. Patrick's Day crap. I'm gonna laugh when she's like,
well, anyways, let's move on from that now. Sue.
She's typing still. I need a sip of water. I'm gonna die. It's not Kirky, so it's not the same. It's not the good old Kirky word. $5. 5-hour energy.
Okay. Yeah, but for this episode.
No. We're not doing an episode. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This was the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. You can follow us on all your favorite podcasting networks such as Spotify, and you better fucking not. No, delete that. Get that. Oh, she didn't respond. I think she's mad. She's mad at you.
I'll call her later.
No. Oh, wait, you both call me at the end of the day when I'm still working. Sometimes I'm not sure what we are 100% discussing. Your dancing is never scheduled.
She got really upset about that.
She's really upset. Mom, we're sorry.
I just thought it was funny.
We thought it was funny.
You know what the best part is? She's gonna forget about this, and then she'll hear the podcast in 2 weeks and be reminded about it.
I'm dying. Now I feel bad. Now I feel like she thinks we're mad. I'm mad, and I'm not mad. I thought it was funny.
You turned into the Joker, or you laughed so hard about it.
Well, yeah, because I could just totally picture going, "Oh, St. Patrick's Day crap." I could just picture saying it, not in a mean way, just like
No, it
you
wasn't
know.
mean at all. It was funny. Anyways, so let's move on to our topic now.
Okay,
So-
I'll respond to her after.
We're revisiting an old episode that we've been meaning to redo for a long time now because the original episode,
The
Kinda
audio fucking sucks.
it did, and it got ruined during the production because we were using a really shitty setup that involved 2 microphones and 1 computer without proper mixing boards and all that fun stuff. And it sucked. It was bad. It staticked all over the place. Like,
Yeah, I've only ever listened to 5 minutes of it because it just sounded terrible. I couldn't get through it. So I've
Yeah.
never actually listened to the episode because it sounded like shit.
that was episode 8, by the way. So
Oh yeah, it
Right.
was very early on in our career, and we've already kind of done a revisited, and we thought, hey, why don't we revisit the topic, but not like rewatch it because the audio is terrible, and we'll just re-talk about it with new stories as well.
yeah, because we've been to so many more since then. And
Yes.
in case you're wondering, this episode we're going to be revisiting our favorite convention memories and stories.
Yes.
'Cause we've been going to
Oh, shit,
conventions.
forgot we were filming. So I yawned about covering my mouth.
Oh well. Yeah, we've been.
Delete it! Censor
no.
the screen. Censor it. Cut it out.
No.
Right now.
But yeah, we've been going to conventions pretty regularly since.
I'm going to one
20
at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's still up in the air if I'm going to that one or not. But yeah, we've been going pretty consistently since 2018. I want to say.
Mhm.
Like 20, we both went to a few before that, but not as frequently.
Yeah.
So yeah, conventions, they're crazy. Some of them go very well, some of them do not.
Yeah.
So I guess going back, we should probably think about what was the first convention we went to.
So I know it wasn't together. So what was your first convention?
That was Boston Comic Con.
Boston
went-
Comic Con? Because
Yeah,
you
I
went
went-
with Ben, right?
yeah. Well, the first time I went to a convention was the time I went with a former associate of mine.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the losers.
Yeah, and this was the year that Boston Comic Con fucked up and they like oversold their
Oh
event.
yeah.
And it was so crowded and legitimately we waited in line for 3 hours just for some guy to come out and tell us we're overbooked. Sorry, no one's getting in today. Try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like legit, I thought a riot was gonna start.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's people, like, was there people outside waiting, like, in full cosplay?
No, a bunch of cosplayers were rip shit and like they like were threatening the convention staff. I was like, oh no, this is going bad really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. So you guys got the hell out of there?
Yeah, we ended up going out for lunch and then we went home because legit, like it was a entirely wasted day.
That sucks. As a first, I guess, what was your first real convention then?
So it was Boston Comic Con the following year.
yeah.
Um, much better handled. We also bought tickets in advance, which was
I wasn't
much-
there though, right?
no, you didn't go
No,
to this.
okay.
You were in college at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was working night shift at the time. Now that I think about it, so this was 2015, I want to say, and I remember it because we went in and we got in pretty quickly. And this was the year William Shatner was going to be at the convention, and I always remember because there was the point where he walked out to the stage. There wasn't this convention center wasn't the big one that they did Boston Comic Con at for a couple of years.
Mhm.
This was like this smaller one off by the water.
Oh, okay.
And I remember because this convention hall was so small that like there wasn't like a behind access for Shatner to get to the stage. So he had to go through the main event hall.
Oh
And
no.
they legit had giant black like sheet curtains and they blocked view of him as he walked through so no one could get a photo.
Wow.
Because he's one of the guys that charges for photos.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty standard at conventions, you know.
Yeah, I just remember because like everyone was like when they heard he was coming out, everyone was like moving over to see if they could catch a glimpse of him, and then we see these.
Honestly, though, they probably did that too because like people were paying to get a photo with him, and it wouldn't be fair if someone necessarily like took a selfie and did like that would kind of suck for the people who paid money.
Oh
So
yeah,
I get why they did it. Silly, it looks silly, but I understand from the
It
whole business side. Like people would have been pissed if like, hey, you can just take a picture of it with him in the hallway. Why was I paying for this? You know. So I get it from that side.
yeah, it's one of those things where because of the convention layout, they couldn't do the normal like go back behind it,
Yeah.
like stage kind of thing. And it was just so funny, like these giant ass like black curtains were blocking him as he walked through,
Yeah.
just so no one could get a photo.
Well, probably security too. I
Well,
mean,
it
it
had
was
a
honestly
security detail, but the
Yeah.
curtains were specifically to keep from photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always remember that though. That was a pretty good convention. That was right after Suicide Squad came out.
Oh, so you saw a lot of Harley Quinns.
No, a lot of Enchantresses.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of men cosplaying as Enchantress.
Honestly, 10 out of 10. Let's go.
Well, what was funny is like you'd see them from behind. You're like, "Wow, that's a good Enchantress," and then they turn around. There's a full beard.
Be
And you're
like,
like,
man,
you'd just be like,
Enchantress.
you kind of pause and you'd go like, he rocks it pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was just so funny, like the turnaround, and it's like, whoa.
Oh, she's all snuggled up in my. I'm not mad. She stole my seat anymore. She looks so cute.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but that was at the convention. I remember where like that was like our first real encounter with like the solicitors who would appear all the time and try to sell you shit.
Ah.
Like I remember this one guy was trying to sell Ben these like self-help like books on like finding
Oh
inner peace.
yeah.
And he's like he hands him the books and he's like going over his whole spiel and Ben's just like, I don't want this, and he just takes the book and walks away.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
it's like, dude, read the room.
I don't want your book. If I wanted it, I would say something. No.
It's funny though, because that convention was obviously pre-COVID by quite a bit, and I remember how packed it was.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and it was so insane. Like that was the first experience I had with the convention shuffle,
Yeah.
which is something that you master when you go to a convention because you are going to have to awkwardly shuffle everywhere
And
you go.
you will be in pain when you get the next morning. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, "Ow! Why do my hips and legs hurt?" And
Yeah,
it's the convention shuffle.
Also, the classic convention stink. Like there's always
There's
the
always
convention.
just like people aren't joking when they say like when you see people who are cosplaying as like deodorant or like just bringing deodorant. Like that's the thing. It happens. People be stinky, and sometimes those deodorant sellers, like if someone was just selling deodorant at a convention, I feel like they could make a lot of money.
Well,
Even if it was just here's a quick little spray under your pits, $5. There you go. You don't stink anymore.
yeah. So in some cases though, like the some of those smells are deodorant ain't gonna help.
Well, yeah, it's like in the sweatshirt that hasn't been washed or changed in a month. Yeah.
It's always the like you're going through the crowd and you just get hit by this like smell that burns your nose hairs and you just
You're
go,
like,
ugh. And then it just goes away and you're like,
and then you see the furry and you go, "Ah!" No, just kidding.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
The furries scare me. Ah!
But yeah, that was my first Comic-Con. I also learned really quick that so this was pre the video game like boom,
Mhm.
like a video game collecting boom. So, well, it wasn't not the boom. I should say like the insanity of game
Yeah.
collecting started. So I had I told it in a previous episode. That's where I got my 2 Lunars for Sega CD at this convention.
Huh. Nice.
Good time. So what was your first convention, Alex?
My first convention was Anime Boston in 2016. Or it was 2016 or 2017.
I think it was
Um,
17 because we went in 18 the following year.
yeah, okay. So it was 2017. Um, and I went with one of my sorority sisters in college, which was fun. We both kind of were just like the two people in the sorority house that like watched anime and no one else really did. And we were like, "You want to go to Anime Boston?" And she was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then we just like took a train into Boston. We just went to Anime Boston and it was really fun. I didn't cosplay that year because it was my first one ever, but I remember I went, had a lot of fun. It wasn't super crowded. It definitely like well, compared to the last time we went, it wasn't super crowded. But even like the time that we went together, it definitely wasn't as crowded, but it was super fun. I loved where they held it. And it was funny because the last time I was there, it was for a dance competition, which just makes me laugh because just to see how they flip it and change it into something else is fun. I remember at the time I wasn't really collecting manga or figures or really anything. So I think I bought like some stickers and some keychains and like maybe like a cute I didn't really buy that much. So but it was fun. I know we went and watched some of like the AMV contest, which was pretty cool. So Anime Boston does a lot of fun contests. And one of her friends was in one of the cosplay contests. So we watched that as well. But
Yeah.
it was fun. I enjoyed it.
So then I believe the next convention, the first one we went to together was Boston Comic Con the next year.
Yes, and that was my first time cosplaying as well.
Yep, your Misty cosplay.
Yeah, my Misty cosplay was on point. It was really good.
You got some good mileage out of that.
I did. I think I wore that twice to
You
two
did.
conventions. I wore that to
Comic Con and then
Comic-Con
the
and then
Boston.
Anime Boston. Yeah. So I wore it to both of those.
I remember this convention, Boston Comic Con, though, because this was the one where we had the crew.
Mm.
It was
where we had Bender.
it was we had Ben, his roommate Keegan, and then a couple other of his friends. I think actually, oh yeah, John, another roommate.
Yeah,
of theirs
John
was
John.
Right.
I don't watch Futurama. I'm sorry.
And then his friend was Bender, but I remember that because like that was the convention where like we drove up in like the convoy.
Yeah.
And we parked in that. That was because I drove, and I remember because I was like psycho style getting out.
And you like drove my car, right? Well,
yeah,
you
I drove the old.
But you drove the 4Runner. No, not the the Highlander.
The Highlander, and I peed in a bottle in the back seat because there was no bathrooms for miles.
Yep, I remember that in the parking lot.
Well, it was either that or I get arrested for peeing in public. So
yep.
My best was though I peed in the bottle and then I casually emptied it out in a puddle that I found on the side of the road.
And then threw the bottle. I mean, it was Boston. You should have just thrown it in the street. People wouldn't have batted.
Honestly, in hindsight, I should have just threw the bottle in the trash because who really cares? But
yeah.
Yeah, that happened, and then we that convention was insane because like legit, we came in as this big group and then immediately dispersed.
Well, yeah, especially because like when you're walking with someone who has a really good Bender costume, everyone wanted to take a picture with him, and we were just like, "Fuck this, let's go."
Well, yeah, like we lost them very quick because we weren't waiting for that, and then
yeah.
We basically, me and you went through like the whole convention floor for a while. I did a lot of game collecting. That's where I got my Burning Rangers.
Yep.
A whole bunch of that. This also this was our first real convention where we got introduced to some convention stereotypes. Like you'll get the one person that you see that's like you just see them walk by and you're just like, they are very brave.
Yep.
Some cosplays you're like, huh, okay.
Yeah. Some you're just like, oh my god, like you're very exposed, sir or madam.
Like usually, sir.
Yeah, it definitely was more eye opening, and this was the first time too that like I had cosplayed, but also like that I had cosplayed and people wanted pictures of my cosplay, which
Oh
was
yeah,
very overwhelming.
you were not ready for photos.
Well, I wasn't prepared for it because I was just like, okay, I just threw something together because I just happened to have a yellow shirt and I was like, oh, I could get shorts and suspenders and shoes and it's misty. And my hair was right now it's red and purple, but my hair was like more of an orange, like Misty's color at the time. So I was like, this is perfect. Um, so and I was very overwhelmed. Like I didn't know what to do when people wanted my picture. I was like, I don't know what to do.
and then when this happened much later, but you also encountered our buddy,
Our buddy,
the male Misty.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I wish I had a photo with him because, like, I think I didn't have the time because I was very much overwhelmed in general. So I was just like, sure, let's take a photo, and I wish I took a picture with him. That was glorious.
Favorite part
he
about
was
that
much hotter Misty than I was. Like, gotta say, he was.
The best part about that was though we had seen him a few times, like throughout,
and
the
we kept making eye contact. But then finally, he like point at me and was like, "You."
No,
take a photo.
I saw it from a mile away. He was walking by and he finally like stopped and like looked over and he kind of made that look, and then he started coming over. I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. And he was like, we need a photo now. And you were just like, okay.
I always have really weird interactions with people at these conventions. Like, don't I always end up having some sort of strange interaction with the person at some point?
You never know what to do when like someone wants a photo, so you're always like, okay.
It's like I like cosplaying, but I also don't want anyone to take my picture. Like, I'm just doing this for me, not for you. I don't want you to take my picture.
That was funny though, because he got really into it and you didn't know what to do.
I was just like, I have a Togepi. I could throw it at you. No.
Yeah, I remember that. That was also
kind of cosplayed.
No, I did not. I wore
you wore a Dragon Ball shirt and you kind of spiked your hair up a little bit.
Well, no, that was just my hairstyle at the time.
You spiked it a little more though, but you know the cosplay.
There was not a cosplay in the slightest. But
sorry.
That was also the convention where we planned on leaving at 1. We didn't get out of there till 2:30.
Yeah. Then everyone fell asleep in the car and Bill had still
We'll get to that. But so we were leaving, and of course, like Bender and Fry were still getting photos every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So like we were like inching closer and closer to the door, and we'd keep getting stopped, and eventually we were like, we're gonna just leave you here.
Yeah, like we're leaving. Goodbye.
So then that's also where Pickle Rick came by and like fucking just completely like. I think that's actually how we escaped. I think Pickle Rick came by and like started screaming.
Because that was when Pickle Rick was like a new thing, and everyone was talking about Pickle Rick.
Yeah, basically a Pickle Rick cosplayer flew into the room, started screaming, and like just ran off, and it distracted everybody long enough that we kind of got out of there, like without any more photos. Then of course we get to the cars, and I was driving, and getting out of Boston sucks.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was like super road rage, like I was like, just get me the fuck out of here, and I was like fucking slamming on the gas and like
everyone was asleep.
Well, no, at that point, everyone was like, holy shit, we're gonna die. And then I got on the highway and calmed down. I was like, okay, now we go home.
And then
immediately everyone was knocked. And I'm just alone in the car, like, this is fun.
That's what you get for being the driver.
Then I was just blasting the Black Parade the entire time.
Yep. And then we got ice cream.
You know what I should have put on 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge and just had like I'm Not Okay playing in the radio.
Hey, we got ice cream.
We did.
Be happy. We got ice cream.
That was fun though. That was probably the most like intense convention I think we've ever had.
Yeah. But really fun.
Because like because then after that we went to Anime Boston the first time.
Yeah, that was your first time going to my second. Your first time, but this is the first time I had cosplayed at Anime Boston, which I just used the Misty from Pokemon 1 again.
And I had my punk rock Pokemon trainer,
and it was V1 though, because you would have
version 1. It went through many. It's been through many an upgrade since.
Yes. that Anime Boston trip, it wasn't a bad experience because I mean we both like
No, that was a good
wanted to
one,
go
honestly.
again, but I can't really remember much from it. Is that bad?
It wasn't the most it wasn't the most intense, I'd say. You know what the biggest thing I remember from it was? That was right after Persona 5 came out.
Oh yeah, and that's
And
what
there was
inspired my next cosplay.
yeah, because there was Persona cosplayers
Yeah,
everywhere.
and I think you got like a bunch of cool photos from that one
I
too.
got a photo with a I only took one photo because I don't like taking photos in general at conventions.
Yeah,
That's just not my thing. I don't really like taking photos, period. But
yeah,
my I ran into a Makato and Futaba cosplayers, and I got a photo with them,
yeah.
and it was super awkward. And then I was like, never again.
Never again.
After that,
But
no
yeah,
photos.
I mean, like I know we had fun, and I
No, we
know it
did
was a good
because I bought a
time.
shit ton of anime there.
See, I didn't really buy. I don't think I even bought that much. I think I probably bought like a couple art stuff, and but I don't think I really bought that much. Maybe
Yeah,
pop figures because I was very into pop
yeah,
figures
you
at
bought
that
a
time.
bunch of pops, and you bought a bunch of pops, and you bought a bunch of art because you were very much on the art thing. I hadn't really discovered art because I didn't own a house
But I
yet.
don't think I bought that much art. I think it was more of, if anything, stickers and like
Hmm.
keychains because I wasn't buying posters because I only started buying posters recently. Like, and recently being like a few years, like after COVID is when I really started getting into that. So yeah, it must have just been stickers and like little keychains and stuff
Probably
because I
some other
wasn't buying
little
figures. Yeah,
knickknacks and stuff.
thanks. Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't a bad convention. I had fun.
No, yeah.
Very
We went
mellow.
back the next year, and it definitely was not. It was bigger than the year before, but definitely not as intense as it would come in the future.
Yeah, because the next convention we went to was Boston Comic Con again. It was just us this time because
Yes.
scheduling conflicts, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I cosplayed as Futaba from Persona 5, and Bill once again was a Pokemon trainer. You'll see this is
Yeah,
a running cosplay.
I've done it 3 times. I want to say
And this, I remember this was a pretty fun one. It wasn't though this year they changed the size of like the
yes,
convention floor
they
space. So they
significantly
downsized.
shrunk.
Yeah.
Like it was, they went from 3 floors to 1 floor, and they half of the vendor space was now a food court,
Yeah.
a very
S-
empty food court. I'm gonna point out.
Yeah. So I know we went another year after that before we
We went,
stopped going.
yeah, uh,
But
yeah. I honestly, we can probably put both of these together because both of them were very unremarkable.
well, yeah, they both had cut down the space, and I feel like the first year we were like, okay, like maybe next year will be better. And one thing I've noticed is like, especially with Comic Con Fan Expo Boston is what it's called, uh, what they officially call it, but most people would call it Boston Comic Con. Um, they were putting more emphasis on like the people being there, but then like they'd always cancel. So people would like be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see this," and then it's like, "Just kidding, they're not coming anymore."
Yeah,
Tricked you.
who were the big people when we went?
We don't even. Well, see, like we don't give a shit about that. So like that's not why we go. You know.
Oh yeah,
So
because I can't be bothered to wait in the line. That's the
yeah.
thing.
But it was fun. I honestly like I just like going for like the cosplays and stuff and it's always fun to look at the art and just look at the vendors, see what they have. Get some games or get some manga and anime. Not for me at the time, but definitely was looking more at games.
Yeah, you didn't hit into manga for quite a while. You were
No,
mostly
not
still
until recently, honestly.
yeah. Um,
I'm trying to think. And then the year after, the year after we have more of a story. So nothing really remarkable happened the year I did Futaba and you did the Pokemon trainer. But the year after that, um,
you were the
I
red
went
blood
as a
cell.
red blood cell from Cells at Work, and Cells at Work had like literally just come out at the time. But I also remember a train story on the way back too from
Was
that
that
one.
was it back or the way there? I thought it was the way there
It
with
was no,
the
I think it was
violet.
the way back. It was the way back because we were both just like, we just want to go home. But anyways, before we get into that, I was a red blood cell. But on the way there, me and Bill had to pee so badly. we got off at a station before because I knew there was a bathroom there because it was like the central station where the Amtrak
Yeah,
also comes in.
Central Station.
I think yeah, that's was where the Amtrak comes in. So they had bathroom and like a food court in there. So I was like, okay, we're getting off here and this is where we can go pee. So we ran, found the bathroom, but then like Bill went, I went, and I was kind of waiting for him at some point. And then we walk by and we hear like a kid go, oh, that's a red blood cell. And like that was pretty fun. But I just remember that story because
Oh,
we
that was
almost
also
peed our
because
pants.
we weren't going to get back on the train because Boston is such a small city that like you can literally walk from station places.
Yeah, so like we also were like, this isn't that far. So we just ended up walking to our
My
next
favorite though is like
destination.
because it's Boston and Boston is like either sunny or it's like overcast and gross.
Mm.
It was very overcast and gross that day. And I remember we're out there walking and some guy just sitting on the side of the road looks up at us and goes, Comic-Con? And we were just like, yes.
Yes!
He's like, it's that way. And just
Wait.
pointed off. And we were like, thank you,
Thank
random
you,
man.
random man on the corner. And then I remember this one. Like, I think this was kind of like one of the like nails in the coffin. Was like, I think this was the first time. Like, we got there early, and we waited. Like, wasn't it like an hour or two just to get in the building? Like, it took forever to
Yeah,
get
the
in.
line was very poorly. They were understaffed,
And
I guess.
yeah, it was very badly run
mind,
because like it
this
was like an
was-
hour outside and almost like an hour inside the building too.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Keep in mind, this was pre-COVID, so like we didn't even have
Yeah.
like staffing issues yet.
No, yeah, it was just bad. And then when we finally got in, it was like just kind of let down because you were like, oh, it's back to it. I think it shrunk even more. Like
Yeah,
I think it was
the food
even
court was even
smaller.
bigger.
The food court and like the guest areas were even bigger, and then like all the vendors and stuff, it was even smaller.
Yeah, because we cleared out the vendor floor in like half an hour, and we were just like,
yeah,
what do we do next?
yeah, and they didn't even have like an artist alley or anything. Like it was just
They
kind of
did,
all...
but it was shoved in with the vendors, so it was
yeah.
like you
So
had to
you
kind of.
couldn't really even find anything, and I don't know. That one was just like it was okay. Like my cosplay was really fun. Like I really liked that one, and a lot of people like took my photo and stuff, which was cool.
We ran into your camp friends too at that one.
Yeah, that was fun. They were nice. They were also like I feel like feeling the vibe of like this isn't as fun.
Well, yeah, because we ate lunch together in the food court, and I remember
Yeah.
because the whole time we were just like, wow, this is lame.
Yeah, it just like kind of sound, and they were there to see people. Like they had gone with the purpose of going to see X, Y, and Z star. But really, like there just wasn't that much to do. Because even like in turn, like I don't even think they really had that many panels or like other activities too.
Well,
It
a lot
just
of people
kinda...
canceled. There was a lot of cancels.
Yeah, there was a lot of and then I remember we were leaving and we just kind of left and we were like, "Meh." Like Bill took a photo for me and then like we kind of pieced out.
We left because I remember our response was sort of like, "So we're not doing this one again, right?" And you were like, "Nah."
Yeah, there's better ones. And then we went home on the train.
Yeah, and a very
angry man. There's a very angry man.
A very angry racist man.
Yeah, like I remember like we're just sitting there, we're just like, full cosplay, just trying to mind our own business. And like this man, like he starts like grumbling under his breath, and we're both like, okay, like we're like just ignore him. And then it starts getting more and more and more. And it was like getting to the point where we were like, oh my God, what's
and then we found out he's screaming at this Asian man. I'm not sure where he was from.
Yeah.
They got into an argument, and then everybody on the bus literally on the train started moving to the other side of the train. Like,
yeah. And we were both just like, I think we got out of our seats to go stand somewhere else.
No, we were far enough away that we were okay. But I remember because then the Asian man got off the train, and the guy made this really nasty comment as he was getting off, and it was like, really, dude? Like, you couldn't just let it go?
Yeah, it was very
because the guy had moved to get away from him, like because he was like ridiculous.
And also looking at that pre-COVID too, like because there was a lot of like Asian hate after COVID as well, because people were kind of just saying that for some I don't know reason.
The world is
So it was
really
kind
shitty.
of
You learned.
it was really shitty then, but it was really shitty before too, I guess. So that
I
was
remember
just
because
that was crazy. Like that was one of our weirdest. I
that
mean,
train got very quiet
oh yeah.
until that guy got off.
And then I feel like there was like a collective like sigh of like, thank God he's gone. Like there was definitely one of those reactions. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a bit intense. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy that train ride. And I think that was one of the did we no, we took the train
Well,
again for so
Anime
we went to
Boston,
Anime Boston again.
2019.
Um
That was the year we
2019.
did our best cosplay we ever did.
Yeah, and honestly, like I was honestly thinking about reposting that photo because, like
It'll be in the
here.
thumbnail for this episode. But
Yeah, but we cosplayed as Android 17 and 18. Which was
Alex dyed her hair blonde for a little while.
I did. And honestly, it was probably one of the most fun cosplays we've ever done.
Well, yeah, because
Because it
we
was
went
fun because
super
we're
in
brother
on them.
and yeah, we're brother and sister, and it was just perfect. We got a ton of photos. Like people love that one, and
I ran into 4 other Android 17s throughout.
yeah, that was
That
pretty funny.
that convention was fun. The only thing is, unfortunately, in hindsight, it is a little bit hampered by the company we were accompanied with.
Oh yeah,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, yeah. We're just not going to talk about that.
yeah, we don't need to
But
mention
we
them. Other than they were responsible for one part of that trip that I did not enjoy in the slightest.
Oh yeah, we went to a maid cafe. It was neither of our.
I did not enjoy
It
that
was
in the
very
slightest.
uncomfy, especially because like I don't know, like I would be more inclined to go to a maid cafe in Japan
Well,
because
yeah,
like
nothing against the girls, but they weren't. They
it
were
just
very
I don't know.
scary.
It felt uncomfy. I feel like it would be I don't know. We didn't want to do it. We just kind of were roped into it by who we were with, and we were like, all right, let's
I
go.
wanted nothing to do with that. I was
Yeah,
so uncomfortable in
but
there
I
the
was like,
entire
"Bill,
time.
please, I don't wanna go. I don't wanna be here either." But anyways, we did that. Wouldn't do it again. It
I mean,
wouldn't recommend. It was
I did
uncomfortable.
pawn off those awful hentai buttons I ended up with, so that's good.
Yeah, ew.
I was
Also
like,
ew.
I don't want these. Does anyone want these? And then, sure enough, you know
Yeah,
who took them, and I was like,
yeah,
here, get them off
ew.
my, get them away. I don't want these.
Yep.
Aside
That
from
was the
that,
only
though,
thing that was bad about that
well,
one.
that and you losing your phone,
I did lose my phone, which
that was a tragedy.
sucked, but we found it. It was good. The nice security lady had it, and thank God no one stole it. So that was good. And now I'm
Yeah.
always like very hyper aware of where my phone is, and whenever I cosplay, I make sure to put in I make sure to think about that. Like think about where's my phone, where's my this, where's my that. So my cosplay I have coming up, I've already got a plan, so we're good.
Yeah, that was. I remember that like insane. Those were the only downsides because the rest of that convention was great.
No, yeah, that one was probably one of the most fun Anime Boston yet. Especially because like Anime Boston sets it up very well where they have like a whole room, like a whole area set and like by room I mean like a really big spot set for the artists, which is awesome. And then they have the regular vendors as well.
Yeah, they have two
So
separate event areas, which is
and they're
very.
both like just as big. Like each one is about the same size. So it's really nice.
I will say the only downside to Anime Boston, and this was every year, was the AC in that convention center could not
Yeah.
handle it.
Yeah, it was always a little toasty in there.
Well, it's weird because you'd find like the cold spot, and then once you discovered the cold spot, everybody else also discovered it,
Also,
and
and
then
it became a
immediately
hot spot.
it became a hot spot again, and you'd be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, and that definitely that year you could see it was growing and more people were going, but it made
Well,
sense
because
because
anime was growing a lot.
anime was becoming yeah. So, um, yeah. What was the next one after? So after that, I mean,
Retro
COVID
World.
happened after
Well,
that.
no, Retro
Oh,
World,
retro.
the first Retro
Yeah,
World. Also
because
one
I
of
was living
still.
in Connecticut.
Yep. And the first so I said before, Retro World's my favorite convention. We go to
Mhm.
every year. That one just I vibe with the best. The first Retro World we went to though, that was special in a lot of ways.
Mm.
So the fun part about Retro World is like it is the most lax convention I think we've ever been to.
Yes.
Because getting in is so easy.
Yeah, it's also, but I don't know why, but it still always kind of concerns me though how easy it is to get in there. But it's a very small convention, so I get why. But yeah, it's always very very lax. Like you just pick up your tickets down at like the ticketing area. You go on up, and there's always another convention
Yeah.
happening at the same time, which is always very funny.
The first year we
Um,
went, it was it was interior
Home
design.
and Gardens, Home and Garden. It was very
And you
silly.
always get this amazing contrast of like um gamers and the people going to this other convention.
Yep.
The home and garden was not the funniest one. We have more stories for later on
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that first year though was insane. Like that event, like the convention hall. So this was
Mm.
the only year we went where it wasn't also a wrestling convention.
Well, it's not like a wrestling convention. They just have wrestling matches.
But it's a big part of it now. Like the
Yeah.
first year we went, it wasn't, and it was like all gaming everywhere.
Mhm.
And I just remember like going through that. The hall was so big, and there were so many vendors. Like
Mhm.
I found so many games that year. Like that was like I think because that was before it got really bad, like insane price
Mhm.
wise. And I just remember like we stocked up on so much shit. You got a bunch of art. I remember.
Yeah, I got a bunch of I think I got a bunch of JoJo's art too, which was pretty cool.
Well, because you were just getting into JoJo's at that point. Like that was
Oh,
like
yeah. I was
this was
not a One Piece fan at this
yeah. You
point
were still
either.
pre One Piece.
I was pre One Piece up until pre One Piece really didn't happen until COVID.
No, it
Which
didn't.
is
Because
so
remember the
funny now.
first episode of the podcast, you hadn't started watching it yet.
Yep. Yeah, because all of this was pre-podcast too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because we didn't start the podcast until after COVID. So yeah, all of this is
Yeah.
pre-podcast.
The next
We were
convention we went
losers
to.
before podcasting. No, just kidding.
Well, I had the Instagram blog at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a crazy one. Ironically, like
Yep.
Retro World, the first one wasn't really as much as I loved it though. Not a lot of stuff happened because it was such a chill convention.
Yeah, it was very chill. I mean, the most memorable thing was you had a lot of fun. You got a lot of games, and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go back next year." But next year
Yeah,
didn't happen
yeah, because then of
because
course
the Fire Nation attacked.
that's one way of putting it.
Yes.
Yeah, COVID happened and all the convention because I had tickets to the next Anime Boston, the ill-fated 2020 edition.
Well, and it was also we were planning on going. My company at the time I was working with was having me relocate to Houston. So we were actually planning to go to a convention in Houston. Bill was going to fly down, but I had only started working there March, and of course what happened in March.
Yeah.
So I only really lived there for a month, and then I had to get the hell out of there and go back home, and the convention got canceled.
Anime
And
Boston
all
got
of them did.
postponed.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, and yeah, it's crazy.
And we did not go to another convention until 2021
Yeah.
with the first Kineticon that we went to.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Kineticon, great experience.
That first Kineticon, like looking back at it, yeah, it was a little crazy because they didn't really know what to do like considering all the COVID stuff. It was still very they were in that weird phase.
We were still masking at that point.
Well, yeah, masking was still a thing. It wasn't even that. It was more just like the whole they still didn't really know how to handle it yet. So like that was like you still had to go through the whole like the line to get in was insane because you had to go through all the wackiness of like you need your ID and your COVID card to be scanned and
yeah, it was a lot more intense. But I cosplayed that year because I was planning on cosplaying for the convention in Houston, and I was going as Polnareff from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And that one was really fun. I really liked that one. I didn't do the full hair because that was just a lot of work and I was not ready to do that. So I ended up just doing like a silver wig.
That was my last cosplay I ever did because I just haven't
you did the Shinobi.
Yeah, I was a Leaf
Shinobi
Shinobi.
one Kenobi.
I was a Leaf Shinobi, and my mask was like struggling the entire time because it wouldn't
Yeah.
stay up, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
Yeah, I did find a cool mask. I actually think I got it from Redbubble, and someone just printed Polnareff's stand on the mask. I was like, this is perfect. So I just had like that as my mask, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Kineticon though also gave us some of the greatest quotes we've ever had.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like I swear, this convention had so many characters in it.
The boba tea. What flavors are the boba tea? They're right on the cans of the boba tea. Just read. You know.
What is in milk tea?
Milk.
Tea. Also, my favorite too was like you were trying to buy something and the girl's like, "How much is the milk tea?" And the person was like, "I'm doing a transaction right now. Please wait
1 second." Yeah.
And then my favorite of all time is still the, "Do you have Wii games?" Wii games.
As there's Wii games right in front of
everywhere. But the best part was like we were like 3 booths down. We could still hear him going, "Do you have Wii games?"
The poor guy. Like
he couldn't find his Wii games.
I just feel like people just kind of at this point it was still very much people had not gotten out of their houses or talked to
Ironically,
people in a while.
It was still better than a later convention we went to.
No, yeah, it was still much better than the next one we went to.
Well, no. We went to one in between.
We did?
You keep forgetting about Retro World.
I thought that was later. No. Retro World changes their dates a lot too.
Well, no, you have to remember. Anime Boston got canceled in 2021 as well.
Oh yeah, okay, that's where I'm getting messed up.
But
anyway,
we had one more quote that you love. You love to quote this one.
What?
It was we were going through the artist gallery at Kineticon, and the famous quote of the one pretentious asshole. "I only do digital art." Like saying that to an artist.
Oh, and I'm just gonna say this now because I have a gripe, and it happens at every convention that we go to. If you take pictures of someone's art and not buy it, you are a fucking asshole and get out. Honestly, like they should have people get thrown out for that because that's just wrong. Like those people are here and they're trying to they're selling it for money. If you appreciate the art, buy it or don't. Do not take a picture of it. That is rude and you should get kicked out for that. Because you're basically stealing their art at that point.
Also, don't cut in front of people who are actually trying to buy the art.
Yeah, to take a picture of it. Like, if you do that, you're an asshole. And I'm sorry. But, like, you may not think you are, but you are. Because you're basically telling that person, I don't want to buy your art. But I'm still going to take a picture of it. But I'm not going to pay you.
The only time it is ever acceptable to take a photo of an art booth is if you're taking a picture of the QR code or the social medias.
Yeah, that's it. If you bought something from them and you want to just remember the artist and like the booth again, that is acceptable. But if you're just taking a photo because you don't want to buy the art and you're being a cheapskate, get out. If you can't afford it, don't take a picture of it.
There's a difference between taking a picture of the booth so you can find it later, or being one of those people with a fucking iPad who like sneaks in there and is like zooming in.
No, and is like taking a picture of the picture. Like that is wrong. You shouldn't do that. Like,
and they're not subtle in the slightest.
Like I'll purposely fuck up people's pictures.
Oh no, I'll get in the way. Like I'll do it all the time.
Cause like it's just wrong. And like I never say anything to the artist, but I can always tell if you block someone's photo, they appreciate it. Because like it's wrong. They're there and they're trying to make a living off of this. Like if you're not gonna buy it, get out. Like you can't go out to random stores and do that. Like you can't just go in and like be like, ooh, I want this box of Cheetos. I don't have any money. Well, I'm just gonna take it. Like that's what you're doing basically. You're just taking it.
Also, this convention, as much as I did like it, though, it was the first convention where I started noticing a bit of line etiquette was starting to not be followed anymore.
Oh yeah, people just but I mean, a lot of that I think was just, social.
Well, it was definitely social confusion because people hadn't been out in forever.
Yeah.
But one thing that really grinded my gears was like this. Actually, where the digital art person came from was there's a line. You got an obvious line behind you of people who also want to go to said booth. It's like don't chat up the seller for like 20 minutes when there's clearly a line.
And especially too, like they're trying to make money at the same
Yeah.
time. Like
Well, yeah,
they
because
probably appreciate that you want to talk to them, but also like it's a business for them. Like
well, yeah, especially when they see people leaving the line because they don't feel like waiting,
yeah.
which is very common, and it's always that's kind of like why a lot of artists will now kind of like shoo people away if there's a line. If there's
Yeah.
no line,
They'll gladly talk to
go,
you. Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah. Or if it's later in the convention, like they, if there's not a lot of people around, go for it. But like if there's clearly a crowd there, they're here to make money. Like they need to make money. Like it's some of them, that's how they make a living. Like let them make a living.
See, the only time I don't feel bad for leaving is when like you see the seller clearly doesn't care and is just continuing the conversation. Because I've had that happen a few times, and I'm like, all right, they clearly don't care, and I just walk off.
Yeah.
Because you'll see a lot of them will be like kind of looking back, like, hello, like,
yeah.
But
and it's hard because like they don't want to be rude, because they're trying to sell something, but at the same time, like, it's also
well,
like,
the worst.
All right, I need to take care of another customer.
Yeah, the worst is when the purchase has already been made and they're still talking, and it's like, move on. Like, there's other people here.
I want to buy shit. Get out.
That's why you kind of wish they had multiple people, but a lot of them obviously can't hire.
Well, a lot of them like, and if anyone is helping them, it's usually like a loved one or like fan,
a friend,
it's usually a friend. Yeah, it's usually just. It's not someone they're necessarily paying. It's just someone who's helping them.
You know what my favorite part about the digital art thing though was? You remember how we were like next in line behind that girl, and the second she made that comment, I remember this to this day, is like the seller literally just like all of a sudden just ignores her and immediately goes to us and like, hi, can I help you?
Yeah.
Just completely just like, go away, I'm done with you now.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it's just such a snotty. I think they were trying to sound like they were trying to be like friendly, but like it came off as so snotty. Yeah. Like it was
very uncomfy.
I just remember hearing it and being like, not the thing you're supposed to say.
Especially because the art was beautiful. Like,
yeah, they were a really good artist.
Yeah.
I can't remember which poster I bought from them, but it was one of the ones around here.
Yeah. So. Yep.
But yeah, so Kineticon was great.
Yep.
So great we didn't go the next year.
I think it was like it was
a scheduling thing.
It was scheduling. But, did we go to a different one instead, or is it just
we went to Anime Boston that year?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But before that, we went to Retro World again.
Yep.
The only masked Retro World that we went to, because the following year everything had pretty much gone back to normal.
The Fire Nation lost.
Yeah. I will say Retro World's way of handling it was much simpler, like everything they seem to do. It was basically you walked in, and if you didn't have a mask on, they told you to put a mask on.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like that, they told you to leave.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Yeah. And it worked fine. And honestly, if people were throwing a fit, like,
no one really did though, because
no one did.
Retro World has like the best like attendees as well.
Yeah, and it's always a really good crowd, like good vibes at Retro World. I don't think we've ever been where like there's been rude people or like it's always been really nice and chill.
I'm trying to remember.
Maybe I will next year. I don't know. I have to pick a video game character though, but maybe I'll do a Dragon Quest character in honor.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I do remember though. I can't remember what the combined convention was this year, because
I think that one was.
It wasn't the wedding. The wedding was the next one.
Maybe they didn't have one. Maybe that's.
Yeah, maybe it was.
No, I think they didn't, because I think it would have been too many people.
Right.
You know what? I think that was why. I don't think there was another one scheduled. It was probably a COVID, because Kineticon's always just one, but I think it probably was just to limit the amount of people. And like just also probably too, because like at least at one event, if someone did get sick and they let someone know, they can trace it back to the whole event. Yeah. But if they're having two and someone got sick at one and the other, like that would be a lot of. It probably just wasn't one that year.
Okay, that's probably why. I can't remember.
I'm assuming.
I remember though, because you know what my favorite part about Retro World is every year though?
What?
The recurring sellers that like every year you go back and it's like the same people, and they remember you sometimes, which is pretty interesting. Because like
the new ones. too.
The guy with the car that's been there every year.
He's always a nice guy.
Yeah, we always chat with him. There's all the different sellers, and the vibe is always just super chill because it's like it's literally just gamers and they just want to chat.
Yeah.
I will say the chatting wasn't as big this year, probably just because of the COVID stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, probably mostly because it always was hard to have a conversation with a mask on.
Oh, I completely forgot the first Retro World was that was the year I met Derek Alexander.
Sorry, who's that?
The Stop Skeletons from Fighting guy.
Oh,
yeah, he was there, and I chatted with him for a good 20 minutes. He was a very nice guy.
Nice.
It was like one of the few quote unquote celebrities I've met.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever really tried to meet anyone other than that.
Well, there was no one else I really know.
No one else I give a shit about.
It's not even that. It's more just if I don't know them, what am I going to say? And I don't want to just be like, hi, I don't know your content at all. I'm just here to take a photo.
Yeah, true.
It's just a thing like that.
Yep.
But yeah, so then the next convention we went to after that was it Anime Boston? I think it was Anime Boston.
It was, because it was the last one with masks that we went to, but Anime Boston. So this was the first time we were coming from Connecticut. We had started podcasting at this point. And were you living at my point?
Yeah, I think I was in the apartment by this point.
You were there. You were living. So we had been podcasting for quite a bit at this point.
Well, yeah, because the first Kineticon and Retro World were both podcasts because we did episodes on them.
So let me see. Oh my God, it's been an hour. Sorry, I just looked at the time. We were podcasting, and so we drove to the the closest green line stop to us,
and then we had to find a bathroom. We had to find a bathroom because you were.
I was gonna pee my pants. It was bad. It was started out rough. So we found a bathroom, and then eventually.
We had to get on the highway and go to a truck stop.
Yeah, it was a shit show. So now we learned if we're gonna. Well, anyways. It started out bad and it didn't get better. So we're on the green line. The green line sucks as per usual because just taking the train sucks. Anyways.
Also, it was the same week as a baseball game. I remember this.
Yeah. So there was Red Sox.
Also, keep in mind, this will be important later. All the mask mandates had basically been dropped by this point.
But not at the convention. So yeah, on the train, we didn't have masks.
We were crammed in there like sardines and no masks.
Also, neither of us got sick too, which shocking. We didn't. Yeah. But yeah, so we took the train in. It didn't start well, but then we finally got off the train. We made it into the convention, and then just getting our badges was a shit show. Yeah, you could just tell as soon as we walked in. There was way too many people there.
So it was a combination of there was way too many people and there was not enough staff.
No, yeah. And my honest assumption is that they sold all those tickets during COVID and they spent all the money to keep the convention alive. And they said, oh, we need to sell more tickets or we can't have the convention still. Keep the company alive, like Anime Boston alive.
Yeah.
So they spent all the money just to keep them alive during the COVID years of them not running it. And they had to make more money. So they sold so many more tickets. And it was insane, the amount of people there. And honestly, I don't even think it was that they were they weren't understaffed for the regular amount. But they had double the people than they usually would because they sold double the tickets.
They were understaffed in certain areas because you remember the security joke that was.
Yeah, it was a shit. But we're getting in line and also just some of the people were just a little ridiculous. In the email and everything that you signed up for, it said you need to wear a mask at this convention. You signed up. That's what it said. And then there was multiple signs around the room. And there was this family behind us and they were throwing a fit.
In front of us.
And they're throwing a fit because they have to wear masks. So I'm like, it was on the thing. I get it. None of us want to be wearing it, but we're doing it because that's what they said. But it says it on this sign, this thing. There's people telling you you signed it when you bought the tickets. Like fuck off and just put the mask on. Like it was just so annoying. Like I was just like so annoyed. I'm just like, it's literally on every wall. Like put it on.
Yeah.
Like don't throw a fit and cause a scene.
As much as like they were annoying though, I do agree a little bit with how ridiculous the convention was handling it.
Oh yeah.
Not,
I
mean we followed all the rules, but I still was like, this is absurd.
No, I got where they were coming from because literally nowhere was requiring it anymore. But at the same time, it's like that's their rules.
Oh, it's not even the mask thing that got me. It was more how so when we went to this convention, like the world had basically opened up again. Everything was pretty much going back to normal. Because this was 2022, keep in mind. Like we were already beyond that year. But like it felt like so Kineticon was pretty strict, but it made sense. This was like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
This literally felt like we stepped into a time capsule back to like peak 2020.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when we got up to the actual lines, like where they had to scan your COVID card, they had to scan your license, they had to do all this shit. I still remember because like you would get up to the vendor and they'd be like 6 feet, and I'm looking at her like, while everyone else is crammed together as close together in that line.
Yeah,
like,
and I feel like that's what was kind of ridiculous about it, because there was literally like you could barely walk in this convention, just the hallways alone, because they oversold the tickets. Because I'm telling you, like they spent all the money and they sold double the tickets because they needed the money to run it, and it was ridiculous. Like it just wasn't even fun because like you were convention shuffling the whole time.
Oh yeah, you couldn't walk. There were so many people.
There was no spot that you could just stand. Like it was terrible.
Anytime you found a spot that you could stand, it would immediately people would like be like, "Ooh, free space," and like would just surround you, and you'd be like, "Ugh."
It was probably like that was definitely like the worst convention we've ever been to. And I mean, it was like, we bought stuff like, because at this time I was collecting figures, you were collecting manga
and art
and stuff. And like honestly, that part was great. The shopping was great, but like it was just like once we finished our shopping, we were like, "Do you want to just leave?" And you were like, "Yeah." And we just left
because it was well, keep in mind I had been elbowed in the face 3 times.
Yeah. It was
the rudest people I think I've ever seen at a convention.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, looking back at it now, probably more was just like people weren't being rude. They were probably just equally as frustrated about how shitty the event was.
The people I got elbowed by were the fucking assholes taking photos of art. So,
okay. Then they were assholes. Yes.
Do you remember that one dude that had the fucking iPad set up and he would just fucking like shove his way in front of people in line?
Yeah.
And then just run off. He fucking bodied us while we were in line. And I almost punched him. I was like,
dude, get away from me.
I was so not feeling that after that. But
yeah.
I only had one positive interaction during that entire convention. That was when that was when I bought that the Byleth photo I have, the one that's in my the one that's hanging in my kitchen now.
Oh.
I needed a place and it was an empty wall and I liked it there. But,
and you were like, it lives here now. It's like my choppy. My choppy's in my dining room. My choppa.
Yeah. But yeah, I bought that photo from the girl that drew it, and she was like, so you can either pay, so the prices are this, and she's like, if you want, you can just get the photo for cheaper. I'm like, no, I like the frame. I'm like, give me the frame as well.
I want the frame. Give me the fucking frame.
Well, no, because it was nicely framed, like in this really nice like photo, and I was like, that I like the way that looks. I'll buy it. And she was like, oh, thank you, and we chatted for a few minutes because there's no one in line, so I was like, very nice, and I like the photo. Still have it to this day. Also, I remember this convention too. The thing that I thought was the most interesting was it was Anime Boston, but the majority of stuff was Fire Emblem, which I thought was really funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
Like much Fire Emblem stuff.
That year was definitely bad vibes. Very bad vibes. Just a lot of very
I still
angry
could
people.
I could not get over that security They had one.
Oh
So
my god, yeah.
the first 2 years we went to Anime Boston, they had the full security setup of like multiple lines and like everyone going
Metal
through very, yeah.
detectors.
This was like one line with one
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
and he did not give a fuck. Like one person beeped through and he was like, I don't care, go. And I was just like, dude, like, hello.
Yeah. And that was really scary. And I feel like that also just kind of started us off with like, I mean, literally anyone could have walked in that building. Like
I mean, thankfully
anyone could have
nothing
had.
happened, but it was
No,
still
yeah,
like,
thank God nothing happened, but like something could have happened. Like, and
honestly, I
that's
was more
scary.
worried about getting crushed.
Yeah. No, and that was a genuine because I'm sorry if there I'm surprised the fire marshal didn't shut that down because there you could not walk. And if there was a disaster, the people would have been trampled. Like if there was a fire in that building and everyone
Oh,
was trying to leave,
we would have been screwed.
people would have been like it was very unsafe and very like looking back at it now, it's like I'm surprised they didn't get sued for that event because like if something bad happened, they would have been doomed. Like that convention would have never happened again. And it's
Also,
I get why they sold double the tickets, but like it's wrong that they did that because that was very unsafe.
also just a bit of a convention pet peeve of mine, but I bring it up just because this was very apparent here. If you're in full cosplay and you have like a giant like weapon like sword thing, don't take it into the friggin' art gallery.
Yeah.
I get sometimes you have no choice, but it's like if you aren't even buying art and you're just walking through, it's like, please don't do that.
Yeah, there's other spots, but I mean, honestly, there wasn't any other spots though for them
I know.
because the hallways were packed.
Well, because you remember how we were like we were so over the vendor floor because it was just insanity in there,
Mm.
and we were like, "You want to try the art gallery again?" And it was even worse.
Yeah, that one was bad. That one was a very bad anime bar. I hope it's better because I'm surprised. That's where I'm going at the end of the month, so I hope it's better. But yeah, that wasn't very fun.
Yeah. And my favorite thing was like that gave us such a bad taste for conventions that like
Yeah.
we were worried about the next one we went to.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, it was Retro World.
Yes, and Retro
And-
World always comes back around to save the day.
So this was a unique
Ow.
Retro World
I banged
because
my hand.
this Retro World was the
I banged my hand against the table.
you do that like every episode. Like
What are you trying to say?
that,
I'm
that
gonna-
your, that your
I got the
tears
little
were,
grubby buzz.
that your tears were entirely fake, and you just proved it right there.
I have a key to your house. I'm
I have a
coming
key
over
to-
right now. I'm
I
coming.
have a
Just imagine if I just did. Like I just walked in right now. I could
Yeah.
do that. Tilly's awake.
yeah.
Do you want a Tilly shot real quick? Tilly shot. There she is. Are you cleaning your pot? Oh, I just
sure-
realized I'm covering the mic with my arm. Oh,
yeah,
that's too high. I gotta fix the cam. Oh shit. Ugh. Oh, that's better.
Okay. But yeah, so Retro World 2022 was great.
Shoot. Yes.
Because this was so no masks, everything was pretty much back to normal. Once again, chill vibe, everyone was chill. And then this was the year with the wedding convention next to it.
Yeah, and that was fun.
Oh, just all these like brides to be surrounded by the nerdiest gamers you can ever see.
Yep.
Oh
It was
man.
such a contrast. It was very silly.
We also went on the Sunday too, and the Sunday because this was the same week you moved.
So this was yeah. So I had moved into my beautiful house. It looked very different at the time. It now looks 50 times better. But yeah, I had moved and we like I think we were like we were even contemplating not even going because we were just like, I don't know, should we? But
Well, you were contemplating not going. I was going no matter what.
yeah. But we went and we had a lot of fun. It was
Surprisingly for Sunday, it was still very lively. It wasn't
Yeah.
super crowded, and everyone was so nice.
yeah.
And it completely saved my opinion on conventions.
Well, and I mean, I honestly I take that Anime Boston as like it I feel like they know what they did was bad. They know that wasn't.
I
a
hope.
good convention.
I hope so.
I hope so because I'm going this weekend, so I'll be able to not this weekend, the end of the month. So at the end of the month, I'll be able to give you a retrospective on what happened.
If I don't go, I'm still not 100% sure yet or not.
Yeah. Well, I can still give my retrospective.
True.
We can still podcast about it. You can just interview me about everything I did in my cosplay because I'm going to cosplay. And I worked really hard on it. I'm not done with it yet. I still need to finish it. Hi, Bill. Is this very loud?
A little.
Well, too damn bad. I'm podcasting like this for the rest of it.
Lovely. So yeah.
No. I'm blue. Da woo dee da woo da woo da woo dee.
Hey, copyright, don't do that. Anyways.
I'm green. Da.
No. Yeah, but Retro World was great, as always. It's funny because there's not a whole lot to say about Retro Worlds a lot of the time because nothing like bad happens or there's no real like insanity that happens. Other than we'll mention this again at the next iteration, but the speaker in the convention hall is so fucking loud.
It is. It's like it sends chills through your body how loud it is. It's like it scares you.
Especially whenever we get there early, because we always get the early access, and early access is great because you get to go on the convention floor for like an hour earlier.
Yeah, and no one's there.
Yeah, and it's super empty, and you just like you get to enjoy like the freedom for a bit. But eventually they set the mic off, and you're like, Jesus, it's loud.
You're like, nah.
But yeah, Retro World was great as always. Then we went to Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Yeah, and that was our first time going to that. We didn't cosplay for that one either. So since Anime Boston, we did not cosplay.
We went with some friends, friend Ben again.
Yes, hi Ben.
And Sunny.
Yes, hi Sunny.
But that was
Bill.
Hi. That was.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
I don't know where.
Are you regretting your decisions of having a sister?
I had no control in that, ma'am.
I know I was the mistake. You don't have to remind me.
Shut it. Rhode Island Comic-Con was pretty fun though. That was the first time we had went to that one. It was mostly chill. It was in the Rhode Island Convention Center, which you had many an Irish your St. Patrick's Day crap in.
Oh my god. Yeah, that also really killed me. So forever that convention hall was always where like the regional competition for New England Irish dancers were. It was always the Rhode Island Convention Center. So all my memories really of that place were just people in sparkly dresses and wigs and like stress. So it was kind of nice to go and like not have that, but I also kind of missed it a little bit, which is probably why I'm back to square one. Even though the one I went to, but it's funny because now it's the opposite because the one I went to last year is at the same place Kineticon and Retro World is at. So it's a small world. No matter, I guess like the ending words are convention centers hold many different events from dance competitions to weeb shit
and gaming conventions.
Yes. But
yeah,
it was very funny being there and not like it just that place just always in my head is just dance memories.
The vibe at that one was pretty good.
I liked it. We went on Sunday.
We did.
And I got a bunch of good figures.
You did. You got
Sorry, I thought I killed Luffy. I did.
The vibe was pretty good. You bought a bunch of figures. I bought a ton of art and keychains.
Yeah, I got a bunch of One Piece figures.
You can see most of my keychains back there.
Yes.
Loser.
Just kidding.
Okay, ma'am. Who is just holding a Luffy doll?
Right now, it's not a doll. It's one of those like little mini Lego figurines that you like build. This is Chopper. This is Tony Chopper. Don't disrespect my little boy. My little Tony. The fuck did you just say?
I said I'm just waiting for you to drop it by accident.
I would never drop him. He is my son.
Like you
dropped I love him. No, I didn't drop him from afar. Ew, did you see a nose bubble?
No.
Because I felt one. Ew, I'm so sorry if anyone saw that. My nose is running. I should grab a tissue, but I don't know if I have any. No,
Did you just kill Chopper?
no, I killed Luffy. I do need to blow my nose. I'm gonna just speak for a bit. I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry. Speak.
Well, anyways, yeah. So we had done Retro World. Not Retro World. We had done Rhode Island. Oh my God, we heard that. Oh no, she's gonna be so embarrassed. I'm not even gonna mention it. I'm leaving that in as a secret. Yeah, I'm completely lost now. Oh, she's got a cat. What is even happening now?
What?
A lot of things just happened.
I had to blow my nose.
Yeah, I'm aware.
What? What? You just act like nothing happened.
You have Tilly now.
No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh wait, this is going on YouTube. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. Look at their little Easter bow tie. We're back to the big bow ties. Look how happy.
Oh, so
she
it's gonna be gross and covered in food.
No. What do you have to say?
She's not. Oh. She's playing. She's being a deflating balloon again. She looks angry.
No, she's happy.
She looks pretty angry. Oh yeah, she's totally happy. But anyways, yeah, so Rhode Island Comic Con.
It was great.
Yeah, we got a bunch of fun, good stuff there.
Yeah, because I was in my prime figure collecting at this point, and we didn't cosplay, so we didn't have to worry about photos or anything. And
yeah, what did we after that was Kineticon, right?
Yeah,
with Sunny.
Yeah, well, so we went both days.
Yeah, we did. And my God, the amount of people at Kineticon.
Yeah, so we went the Saturday and the Sunday, which was our first time going to multiple days on a convention. We'd never done that before. And so the first day I cosplayed as Luffy, and I had a great interaction with someone. As soon as I walked in, another Luffy pointed at me, walked over to me, and handed me one of those sticky hands. And said, "It's yours now."
The stretchy hand that you find on the ceiling in like kids' rooms.
Yes. And now, oh, did she just hiss?
I don't know. Yeah. I think she wants to be put down.
No, she does not. She loves living. She loves me. Anyways, keep talking, Bill.
I'm just waiting for her to rip your face off.
No, she's happy. She's happy.
Totally happy. She wants to be let go. Yeah. She's done with you.
She's so nasty. Oh, she's down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kineticon was fun, although there was a moment where I thought you were going to punch somebody.
Wait, when?
Do you remember we were talking to that one artist and the guy legit came in and just like creep shotted like the photos and walked off like as we were talking?
Oh, yeah.
And you like, your face was like, you like wanted to hit him. I could tell.
Well, it's again, I already said my speech, but like you're just an asshole if you do that. I'm sorry.
Well, my favorite was when he we were talking to the artist because I had bought something from them, and like we were talking because there was no one in line, and literally that happened during our conversation, and I remember we just kind of paused and I just went, that was subtle, and the artist went, yep, and just kind of rolled their eyes and just kind of like moved on from it. But
yeah,
I just remember I was like, wow, people do not care, and it's
sad. But like that shows they do not like you doing that, so don't do it.
You know what the worst part too is? Like that was probably the shittiest fucking photo. Like because he just like came in and was like and just walked off, and I'm like,
yeah,
like what were you even accomplishing there?
Nah.
Unless he was taking a picture of the vendor. which is even weirder.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she was pretty attractive. I'm not gonna lie. So you never know. But yeah, it was the same. It was kind of the same thing. I did notice though, like this was kind of the point where conventions I was really noticing the understaffing issue that was happening
Mm.
because the line getting into Kineticon.
Well, also it was just a bigger event. I mean, more. The truth is too. There's understaffing, but also just anime, gaming, everything. There's just more and more people getting into it, and like you'll see people bringing their kids and stuff to it. Like it ends up
True.
being a family event. Um, so I think it's a little bit of like, yes, there was probably some understaffing, but also there's just more people that want to go now. But honestly, like I think people were a little dramatic about the wait. I don't
They
think
were
it was that
dramatic
bad.
day 2. Day 1,
Yeah,
not so much.
but day one, you expect it. You know.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's part of why people were so angry day 2 is like day 1, yeah, that was kind of bad, but I mean, we got through it. Day 2, oh, people were mad.
But even then, I've sat in worse. Like I don't think it was that bad.
I think a lot of it too is just the way that Kineticon does their queuing in isn't the most efficient.
Well, it's in the garage, and in the summer it's hot.
Well, it's that, but it's also like when you finally do get into the building, they have like one line and like everyone's crammed at this one like kind of like bottleneck,
Mm.
and it's just not very efficiently laid out. I think it's because they go in through that side door. They should really go in through the other side.
Yeah, and queue people inside.
Yeah,
No,
because there's
I
all
agree.
that space there that they don't use.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think part of that too is no, wait, they weren't doing a separate convention at the same time. No, I
Yeah,
don't know
because they
why.
had the it's just that their setup is weird. I
Yeah,
get it. But granted that they were understaffed, so I guess they probably just didn't have the staff.
yeah, and I mean,
The-
like, I give their queuing a break too because I mean they do have to like how they have to queue it because you do have to walk from a garage to an active like driving area. So you do have to it queues in like big chunks and there's more it feels like there's more waiting time because of that. But it's just kind of how the garage is set up.
yeah. Other than that though, getting in was fine. A little crowded, but not super bad. Honestly,
Yeah.
most of our fun though was on day 2 when we had Sunny with us.
Yeah. A lot
'Cause
of yeah.
that's when we watched the cosplay wrestling.
Yeah, that was really fun. And I would definitely do that again next year too.
I gotta look into that because I've seen the
You're gonna
posts.
try?
No.
You're gonna I think you should do it. You should
Those are
start training.
Alex. Those are staged. Those are so staged.
I know you could train for it, and then you could become the stage fighter. You could be a
I'm
Goomba
good.
and get stomped.
I'm good.
Can you cosplay as a Goomba?
No.
And can I cosplay as
Okay.
Mario?
I'll cosplay as a Goomba, but it'll be a Mario Brothers movie Goomba.
No, no, that's not a Goomba. No.
Sir,
Can
the
you be
Goombas
an
are
actual Goomba?
Sir, the Goombas are dancing
I'll be
again.
Krobus.
Didn't we decide that might not be a
Yeah,
good idea?
no, we decided that was a bad idea. That it could not go well.
See, it's
Not that you
harder.
could do anything bad. It's just
Yeah, it's harder to talk about the most recent conventions because we literally just talked about them not too long ago.
Yeah. What
Um,
was the last one? It was Retro World, which
Retro World with
honestly just
Josh.
listen to our Retro World podcast with
I know.
Josh.
Josh, we met Kevin there.
And then go tell
Um,
Josh that the Atari Jaguar is better than the N64. Everyone
What
just
was
go spam his latest whatever. Go
No, don't
spam
do
his
that.
Discord channel and just say N64 sucks. Jaguar forever. Peace out. Cub Scout.
You're in his
Bluey.
Discord. You could do it.
I'll start it. Also tell him that Bluey sucks.
No, don't do that.
I'm kidding.
Don't
I'm
do that.
kidding.
What was the joke we had throughout that entire episode?
It was
I barely knew her or something like that.
newer.
Oh man.
That was the whole convention.
Yeah.
And Plan B jokes.
Well, yeah.
Lots of Plan B.
We didn't. No one got pregnant. Don't worry.
No one got pregnant except for the Goomba. What?
What? I don't even know where that came from.
I barely know.
That was a good time. I recommend watching it, listening to our
That
episode.
was a great episode.
Getting to meet Josh in person was great. We got to meet Kevin
Yeah.
Schnickerman in
Yeah.
person.
And he'll never want to meet us in person again because he figured out who we really are, and now he's scared. It's okay, Josh. You don't. I understand. You can tell us the truth, but Krobus is still my man, and you disrespected him. How fucking dare you? What?
You bought him a can of beans. I just
I
remembered
did.
that. Oh, gee, that was the time.
I was disappointed when he didn't keep it on stage during his during his panel. I wish he kept it because I told him, I was like, if anyone disrespects you, you huck that can of beans.
Yeah,
Just
that was.
Imagine if he did and he like got arrested. He was like, but she told me, and I would just be like, you gotta tell Josh to watch this episode just for the last like 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, I don't want to put him through the misery of the first half of this episode.
Yeah, that's why I'll just like skip to 1 hour 40 minutes.
Yeah. Other than that, though, the only other convention I went to was.
You went to Rhode Island again. I couldn't go.
Yeah, I went to Rhode Island by myself on the Saturday, I want to say. It was fine. It wasn't as fun as the first time just because it was way more crowded. It was way more crowded than it was the first time.
Also, there was just other stuff going on that made it awkward.
Yeah, there was a bit of an awkward situation I won't get into.
Yeah, I would put a little bit of that probably made it not as fun too. Just
yeah. I will say though,
do Rhode Island again. Well, I'd like to go to the Rhode Island Anime Con. I'd like to do that one.
I will say one thing I really did enjoy though was I bought the because I was like last minute on those tickets. I ended up buying like the VIP package by mistake, but it ended up being really nice because like there was the line for Rhode Island Comic Con was insanity. Like it was literally like I swear a mile away from the actual convention center.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had Will Call though and the early access VIP status, I literally just walked right to Will Call, which is right at the convention center. And when I was in there, I was like, "So what? I have VIP. What does it mean?" She's like, "Oh, you get to go in early. The gate's right there," and there was no line. And I was just like, "Fuck yeah!" And I legit just walked right in.
Yep.
And I got free reign of the convention center, basically, like me and like the other like handful of VIP people for like a good hour before everyone started filing in. So I got to basically get through the vendor section and do everything. It was fun though. That was fun. It got very overcrowded though. Like there was legit a point where I couldn't go anywhere because I was surrounded by people.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Ben and his brother all left and we chilled at his brother's condo for a bit.
Nice.
It was nice.
Condo.
And yeah, that's the most recent convention as of now.
Yeah. And I'll be updating shortly because I'll have another one at the end of this month. And maybe Bill. Maybe.
If we both go, we'll definitely do an episode. I'm still 50-50 on that.
We're doing one regardless. I'm going all out for my cosplay, so I'm going to talk about it. So we're doing one, whether you like it or not.
What weekend
Even if
is
I
that
have
again?
to go solo, it's the last weekend of March.
Oh, same. The Easter weekend?
Yes. I didn't realize that when I bought the tickets, but it's a little too late.
Okay.
Don't eat shit off the floor.
Lovely.
Sorry.
But yeah.
So, don't eat shit off the floor.
This is a video podcast, Alex.
You can't see the cat right now. They don't know who I'm talking to.
But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. Gaming and Collecting Podcast can be found on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can also find the podcast on YouTube now with occasional video versions of the podcast.
Occasional, because I don't always have makeup on when we record, and I'm not going to do my makeup just for a podcast. Sorry, bitch.
You can find all of our links at Linktree/TheBarberWhoGames. And if you'd like, you can join the GNC Podcast Network Discord server where you can find all things gaming and collecting, the 3DO experience, Geek Addicts, talk gaming, anime. Alex has water bottle propaganda that she hasn't updated in forever.
I've been busy. March is a busy time for me, and I started a new job. Leave me alone. I barely know her.
And with that, everybody, we will see you all later.
No, we won't. I quit. This is my resignation. Fuck.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
No, I don't want to.